Number 4 is the case of Henrik Siwiak, not sure. On September 11th, 2001, the world watched in horror as the Twin Towers burned and fell. So it's unsurprising that a murder committed in New York on the same day attracted little attention. Henry Siwiak, a 46-year-old Polish immigrant, had come to New York almost a year before in the hope of making a better life for his family back home. Shortly before he was murdered, he had been given a job mopping floors at a supermarket in Brooklyn. Probably in Greenpoint, because that's Polish, but I don't know. His first night was scheduled for September 11th. Unsure exactly where the store was, Siwiak asked his landlady to help him find Albany Avenue on a map. Unfortunately, he ended up going to 1 Albany Avenue, several miles away from the supermarket at 1525 Albany Avenue. Very different neighborhoods. The area where he ended up was known as a dangerous location, where drug deals went down daily. It's unclear what happened next, but Henrik was shot a few times before midnight. He managed to drag himself up some stairs to ring a doorbell, but the woman inside was too frightened by the gunshots to come to the door. Siwiak died moments later. Given the events of the day, the crime scene unit couldn't make it to the crime scene. Instead, the area was swept by a team usually tasked with investigating burglaries. Oh God. Siwiak still had his money in his pockets, so robbery wasn't the motive. It's possible that Siwiak's outfit of camouflage pants and military-style jacket were perceived as threatening, but the truth is that nobody really knows why he was killed. Almost 15 years later, the mystery of Henrik Siwiak's death remains unsolved. It's probably just being in a bad neighborhood as someone of the wrong race, and just, who knows, it's probably literally over nothing, which is so sad. Like, I always think of The Office. If you watch the later seasons with Nellie, who is British, she says, like, everyone told me if I came to America, I would get killed or get murdered or something, and you know what? It's not that far from the truth. We've had like 44 school shootings this year alone, so yeah, it's not unlikely. Alright, number 3 is the case of Patrick Alford. Patrick Alford didn't have the idyllic childhood some are lucky enough to experience. He had been taken away from his mother, Jennifer Rodriguez, after she was arrested for shoplifting and found to be dependent on drugs. He was then placed with the foster mother, Labrada Moran, in Brooklyn's Starrett City. 3 weeks after moving in with Moran, the 7-year-old was helping her carry heavy trash bags downstairs when her cell phone rang. Moran briefly left the boy downstairs while she went to take the call. Upon returning, she found that he had vanished. Fully convinced that his biological mother had abducted him, the authorities arrested Jennifer Rodriguez and only released her after she had spent time in a prison cell and passed a polygraph test. In the years that followed, the police followed up on every lead they could find and searched thousands of apartments in the Starrett City area. A search of a nearby creek and interviews with Patrick's teachers and bus drivers proved fruitless. Jennifer Rodriguez has since brought a lawsuit against Moran and Children's Services on the grounds that they failed to protect Patrick. In January 2015, a renewed search began, with police combing Brooklyn and Staten Island in search of clues. They haven't found any answers. is humongous. He's not that far from Long Island. He was right by the water, like a lot of marshy land, beaches, ocean, bays, creeks. So this kid could literally be anywhere. He was right by JFK Airport. Could have been on, I mean, really, who knows? I hope that he just ran away. I really do, because he probably didn't want to be in foster care, and if he thought he couldn't go home to his mom, like, I hope he just ran away and just, like, lived and is living. So, yeah, that is really heartbreaking. What year was that? It doesn't even say what year it was. I think it was in the past 10 years, though. Alright, so the number 2 case is the case of Kathleen Kolodzi. It's spelled Kollodziej. Not sure. Okay, on November 2nd, 1974, 17-year-old Kathleen Kolodzi, I don't know, left a Cobleskill, New York, upstate bar, I think, upstate, and headed back to the SUNY Cobleskill campus. She had earlier declined a lift offered by her roommate, saying that she would catch a ride with someone else. The teenager's mother reported her missing the next day. The tragic truth came to light when police found Kathleen's half-naked body in Richmondville nearly a month later. She had been stabbed multiple times with 2 different weapons. The only credible lead was a report of a girl resembling Kathleen getting into a yellow Volkswagen that had Ted Bundy. I don't think he was over here at that time, but on the morning of her disappearance, the report was never substantiated. Over 4 decades later, investigators are no closer to finding Kathleen's murderer. Despite interviewing more than 3,000 people and chasing down over 1,000 potential leads, the police were never able to identify a suspect. According to the Schoharie County Sheriff Tony Desmond, the best hope now may be that the aging murderer feels the need to come clean before his own death. I don't know about that. It'll probably be catching the guy for another crime or DNA. Like, I doubt it. It will be solved some other way. Alright, now this is another case that brought me back to this article. Another case from Brooklyn that really bothers me. It's the case of Lorraine Snell. Now, this happened in September 1980, and her mother, who is in her early 80s, is still fighting to find out who did it. One of the last people seen with her is now a bishop, like a fake reverend in Staten Island, I think, and he denies being involved, but he was arrested for, like, an armed robbery that night. So, like, I mean, you're hopped up on endorphins from murdering someone. Like, yeah, let's go commit another crime. Like, yeah, it's probably him. Anyway, in September 1980, 19-year-old Lorraine Snell was in the middle of planning her engagement party when she arrived at the Midwood Terrace restaurant in Brooklyn, where the party was to be held. As she left, the barmaid noticed that she was accompanied by James Burris, the estranged husband of her cousin Barbara. I think Burris is the guy I was talking about. It was raining, and Burris was holding an umbrella for Snell. That was the last time Lorraine Snell was seen alive. She was later found strangled in the back seat of a station wagon, a cable still wrapped around her neck. The car had been parked behind a supermarket where James Burris was once employed. Detectives were unable to conclusively link Burris to the murder, but he did serve time for robbing a cab driver that same night. Okay. He has since become a pastor and denies any involvement in Snell's death. Okay. Oddly, Lorraine's mother, Pearl, was visited by a district who assured her that the police were doing everything they could to find her daughter's killer. Tennant stayed in touch, and Pearl was grateful for his frequent calls about the case. However, it later emerged that Tennant had never been assigned to the Snell case, and that an important case file had gone missing from the NYPD. It was also alleged that Tennant had tried to gain access to the case files even after his retirement. What the fuck? Lorraine's family are particularly suspicious of how Tennant insisted Barbara Burris had been cleared of involvement in the case, using language similar to that used by Barbara herself. Okay, so what? However, Tennant insists that he did nothing wrong and merely took an interest in the case because he had known Lorraine Snell before her death. The case remains unsolved. Okay, if he knew the girl, maybe he was just interested and wanted to help. But yeah, a case file is missing. I didn't see that in some other article. What the hell? And like, maybe he is involved in it if he was a local cop. Like, what? Or involved with the cover-up if he knows Barbara and Barbara's ex-husband. So what? Okay. I like reading out pre-researched things. It's much easier than researching, but let me know if you like this or if you'd rather me like talk about cases in my own words. Yeah, because I love true crime and I'm happy to do that, and I do love to research. It's just like I barely have time to make videos as it is, as you guys know, so all 60 of you, my glorious fans. Yeah, so I don't like allow comments on my videos actually, so don't let me know anything. If I left out any information or if I said anything wrong, most of what I'm saying was directly from this article, which I will link below. And anything else I expressed was probably my opinion or gotten from another internet article, which, as we know, can be not accurate. So, forgive me, I meant no disrespect to any of these people, and any of their families, any law enforcement, anything like that. So, this is just for entertainment purposes, and also because I care about not letting people be forgotten, not letting people's murders and missing persons cases fall to the wayside. So this is out of genuine care. And yeah, this might end up being 3 parts, so sorry for